Well guys, I finally played the day before and I've got so many things to share with you guys about this game. All the good things, all the bad things, and absolutely disastrous things that Fntastic has done with this game. Now I've seen a lot of different reviews on the internet from YouTube videos. A lot of YouTubers have been trashing this game left and right, and a lot of player base are also extremely disappointed about how this game turned out. But there's also good parts of the game, and there's also some very extremely bad parts of the game as well, because there still is some sort of a survival element in this game, and it seems like Fntastic have kind of done a pretty good job when it comes to a survival extraction shooter. But apart from this, there is a lot of things that is missing in this game, which makes the game feel pretty much empty at this point, with no objectives and pretty much nothing to do at all. Now I got to play plenty of hours of this game, and as far as what I played so far, there's a lot of things that I came across that seemed pretty off to me after seeing the gameplay demo that Fntastic had showed off, which kind of just piqued my interest into this game in the first place. Because if I wouldn't have taken a look at that demo, I would honestly never ever be interested in a game like this. But since the demo was absolutely fantastic, blew my minds off, and made me feel like this could end up being the first ever and the best survival game that I was looking for in terms of a zombie survival game, because I'm a huge fan of games like the DayZ, Miscreated, and there are plenty of different games out there. But one of the best games when it comes to zombie survival is a DayZ in itself. But I expected something different from the day before, and it seems like a lot of things are basically missing from the game, from what we have seen in the first gameplay demo that was shown. Now it seems like Fntastic pretty much just misled a lot of gamers into thinking that the game offers much more than what it exactly offers. And that was one of the biggest mistakes any developers out there could do, and they have completely just outdone themselves when it comes to misleading their fans. Now, if you take a look at the gameplay demo they showed off, the first thing you notice is that the game has a proximity chat, which completely doesn't even exist in the early access version that just got released. Now, if you take a look at all the different games that came out as a zombie survival shooter and PvP PvE games, all of these games released in early access, and even during its early access stages, the games always had proximity chats. And from what they've shown off in terms of demo, proximity chat played a very huge role in this game, and that doesn't even seem to be existing in the early access version at all. Maybe in the future they might add it, but as of now, that does not exist, and that really pisses me off because I would have loved to go ahead and chat with different players. But one thing that actually exists in the game is the proximity chat, which you can literally just type in and other players could see it, and that thing is only going to be possible for the PC versions, because console players obviously are not going to be using that feature at all, because you're going to be playing the game rather than just sitting out there and typing all the words without having a keyboard. Now moving on next, the game also showed off some very interesting survival mechanics. Like your player actually reacts to the kind of weather system that is available in the game. Like for example, if the weather gets colder, or you could pretty much just get hungry, or you could feel thirsty and all that stuff. So you even have this bar that indicates what kind of survival level is your player currently at, and all of these things completely doesn't even exist in the early access itself. So at this point, I don't exactly know as to how this game even plays the role of being a zombie survival open world PvP/PvE game, because there is absolutely no survival elements present in the game at all. Now moving up next is one of the biggest things that really turned me off, which is the animations that was shown off in the gameplay demo, where you could see players pretty much just easily entering and exiting vehicles, and you could even repair your vehicles when the tires are flat and all that stuff. So all of these things completely doesn't even exist in the game. Well, yes, you can obviously drive vehicles in the game, which you end up purchasing or some other player purchases, and you could pretty much just steal it from other players. And apart from that, you can't really just go ahead and pick some vehicles off from the street and drive it, nor can you even repair some vehicles that's completely broken down, because in most of the survival games, you kind of just go ahead and survive and find different items which could be used in order to start a car that is completely broken down. For example, like finding batteries, or you could find spark plugs or tires or wheels, and all these things combined together would just give you an option where you could repair a completely broken down vehicle and use it and save it for yourself. But that thing doesn't exist in the game, and you can purchase all of these vehicles and store it in your garage, and you can use these vehicles anytime you want. So if any online online players decides to steal it, then it's pretty much just gone. So you need to be extremely careful as to how you operate in this world. But apart from this, the animations doesn't even exist. Like, you pretty much just teleport inside the car and outside the car, which is really frustrating because as far as what I've seen from the animations, I really wanted to exit and enter the vehicle as a normal person would. And also, if you take a look at the gameplay demo, you can actually see that the characters make a lot of different hand gestures and facial expressions while they're talking in the proximity chat, let alone the proximity chat doesn't even exist in the early access gameplay. But I honestly think that the hand gestures and facial expressions are completely not something that this game could ever in future as well be getting at all. Because as of now, what I've been seeing from the current progress of this game, it seems like even if Fntastic decides to add in all of these features, it's going to take up probably a lot more years than what we have been expecting. So all of the promises that was made with this gameplay demo is absolutely just misleading, and that's probably why it has got one of the worst ratings out there on the Steam page. Now moving up next, they also showed a bunch of horde of zombies in the game, which completely doesn't exist once again. So I've been playing this game for probably like 3 hours straight, and in that 3 hours, maybe I came across like 4 to 5 zombies in overall, and I came across more players than I came across as zombies. So it seems like the game isn't really oriented towards zombie survival. It's more like a PvP action game. It's pretty much an extraction game in general. It's not even survival at this point. Now here in the demo gameplay, you can actually see that the player is crafting some kind of bandages and medical equipments. You can also craft different items in the game, but that also doesn't exist in the early access. There is absolutely no crafting mechanisms available in the game. The only thing that you get to see in the game is the craft bench, where you can pretty much just customize your weapons. So if you find different parts for your weapons, then you can go ahead and attach those parts only using the crafting bench. So even if you find a suppressor out there in the open world, you will not be able to attach that suppressor into your weapon. You will basically need to go to the crafting bench each time in order to add all of these weapons. Now, although that's not a very big issue, because the game actually has plenty of different crafting bench locations. You can even see those things on the map, so you can go down there and customize your weapon. So that's not really a big deal, to be honest here. But what really pisses me off the most is the vaulting animation that they showed off in the very first gameplay to all the gameplays that they've shown so far. Each and every gameplay had this vaulting mechanism, and I swear to God, man, this game just doesn't support any sort of animations at all. There is not even a basic vaulting mechanism in this game. Like, you can't even pass through one of the barricades or anything that is in front of you. And one of the most useless features that we have in the game is the jumping feature, which doesn't even allow you to jump over objects, or you can't even jump and reach any location. So the jumping mechanism is pretty much just absolutely useless, and I don't really understand why they even decided to add this jumping mechanism. They could have rather given us a vaulting mechanism than adding something completely useless in the game. And another thing that really pissed me off is that usually when you play survival games, you always end up running out of ammunition. So the only thing that you have to survive right now is your fist. So you will have to melee your way through all of the zombies in order to just survive and all that stuff, right? But in the day before, there is no melee features at all. So if you end up losing your ammunition, that is pretty much the end of your game. You cannot stab other players. You can't fight them off. You absolutely have no chance of escaping or even fighting off other players who have weapons and ammunition. So even if you come across an AFK player who's completely stacked up with loots and you have no ammunition with you at all, then you can pretty much do nothing other than just walking away from that player. So it's very frustrating because I did run out of ammunition plenty of times, and I did come across other online players who also seem to have been running out of ammunition, and we both simply just looked at each other and never really did anything because we couldn't even fight, we couldn't even shoot. So there was really nothing else to do other than just looking at each other and then just walking away, minding our own businesses, and that just takes away the main survival element from the game itself. Now, one thing that really did piss a lot of people off is that the game was marketed as an open world survival PvP/PvE game, but then the reality of this game is that it's not an open world survival game. It's rather an open world extraction action shooter game. So you pretty much just go into a map and then you find the loots and then you extract the loots by killing other online players. And whatever loots that you extracted is going to be available with your player. So you can either store some of the loots in your storage area and go back into the world and survive once again and loot more items. And basically there is no real purpose for you to play the game itself. So you're pretty much just going in there, killing other players, finding loots and then getting back again, and then going in there again, killing other players, finding loots and getting back again. And that's pretty much it. So if you die, you pretty much just lose all the loots that you just found. So you can go back to your base and equip all the loots that you have already stored in your storage, and then once again go back and find more loots. It's pretty much just a loophole that just never keeps ending. And at this point, it seems like there are 10,000 players playing this game. And over the week, I honestly believe that a lot of these 10,000 players are going to be extremely bored of this game, and pretty much 90% of the population are going to stop playing this game if there is no further updates that is being given by Fntastic. So I would honestly suggest the developers to go ahead and drop the updates as soon as possible so that the game could at least feel like what was marketed, and maybe it could have more content for gamers like us to go ahead, enjoy, and make more content out of this game. So I'm not just gonna jump into the hate wagon and completely say that this game was a scam, absolute trash or whatever. I kind of did enjoy the extraction and the PvPing in this game up to some extent, but then I kind of feel like there should have been more objectives in the game, or maybe more things that they kind of just marketed with the gameplay demo itself. So that could have been much better. So all I'm saying is that this game is still in its early access, and I really hope that they do give us more updates in order to make this game look and play much better. I know a lot of people have already been refunding this game, and that is already very disastrous when it comes to players being filled into the servers. Now, before the first patch was released for this game, there seemed to have been a lot of server issues where players had to wait like 2 hours to even literally get inside the servers. But for me, I had absolutely no issues because I played this game after the first patch was released. So every server that I got into hardly even took like 2 minutes for me to get in, and it was pretty much just always full and filled with a lot of players. So I had no issue with that stuff at all. So if you're not finding any online players, that could be because, most likely because the region that you're playing from could have no players at all. So that could be something that's related to region, I believe, because in my region, I have been seeing nothing but filled up players inside the game. So it's a good thing from my part. But apart from this game still needs a lot of time. And as far as what the price point is set, which is $39 for the early access, I honestly don't think that this game is nearly even worth for paying that price, because I would suggest you guys to just wait for a while and see if the developers actually change something with the game, because the price point it is at right now is not really suggestible when it comes to purchases. So that's my honest review on this game. I will of course keep you guys updated. If you guys want to see more let's plays and gameplays of me playing the day before, check out my second channel named Blackwoods 2. I'm going to be posting my gameplays out there. And with that being said, lads, what do you guys think about the day before? Have you got the chance to play this game or not? Let me know in the comments down below. And I really hope you guys did enjoy this video of my little review about the day before. If you guys did, please make sure to go ahead and drop a big fat like on this video. It really helps me out as a creator and helps out the content as well as this channel grow. So your support is very much appreciated. Now, if you guys want to stay updated with all the latest gaming news, updates, reviews, and basically all the news you need about upcoming video games, then make sure to go ahead, subscribe. It's absolutely free of cost. Plus, you guys are going to stay updated every single day. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.